can look at the transcripts. Whatever is not raised in the trial court, or no, I won't say whatever, most of the time if you don't raise an issue in the trial court, you lose that any arguments come appeals time. It's like a waiver. And what you do not want to do is to lose your case because of some technicality that could have been caught by yourself or your attorney. And the other reason for preserving your objections is that it keeps you from getting discouraged. Because a lot of us get down, all I should say is a pro se, and some of the people I've talked to, when it doesn't go your way the first time, we tend to say, well, forget it, let it go, I can't win anyway, everybody's corrupt, it's always going to be something else. I don't have the successes I have if I would have quit the first time something didn't go my way. Heck, I can't remember any of them really where I just walked in and they just said, we're not going to hit. Well, maybe twice, and that's only because it was just so glaring as to what was going to happen. And it may also have happened because I've already developed this reputation for fighting. So that may have benefited me. Let's see. Make your objections timely. So if there's an issue, make sure you object, you give your objection. Even if you don't know the reason for the objection as a pro se, just say, well, object, and then just state it, and then you get a liberal construction when the appellate court gets it in most instances. Your attorney will be skilled, so if you happen to have an attorney, he or she will be able to make objections and hopefully raise valid objections that will help preserve your position in the event that the trial court rules against you. And by the way, do not argue, I guess it's funny coming from me, do not argue with the judge or hearing officer, because that in some ways will kind of jumble the record. So just make sure you stick to the points, object, even if when you don't agree with them, it's not about an argument. You can state a position, keep it going, move on to the next thing. Arguing will get you nowhere. And by the way, get on to the next issue when it comes to your objections. You'll hear me in a couple of the audios say, I just want my objection noted for the record. We can move on. Because generally they're not going to change their mind anyway, from what I've experienced. And you can ask attorneys. And these are things you can also take to an attorney that you may be wanting to interview to take a case for you. There's some things that you might want to just cover and have as a general knowledge to use in your cases. And this stuff you can use going forward forever. Keep in mind that you are a pro se litigant, okay? You're not a lawyer. So don't go running in there trying to be, Matlock or what was his bird's name? Anyway, it'll come back to me. I can't even believe I can't think of his name, because the first time I actually saw the books, the Corpus Perry Mason, the first time I saw the Corpus Juris Secundum, I wasn't paying attention to it. If any of you all go back in and watch those old Perry Mason shows, at the end, it's the Corpus Juris Secundum that's sitting on his desk or in the closing scenes. And listen, don't turn it into some sort of courtroom drama or think that stuff. I tell people all the time, you might want to stop watching the Law and Orders and all that kind of stuff, because courtrooms tend not to go that way. That stuff is for the sake of entertaining television audiences. Stick to the facts and win. That's all you're there to do as a pro se litigant. If you get to the point where you're trying to make it over dramatic, you'll probably lose sight and focus on what's really important while you're in there. Again, you're a pro se litigant, not an attorney. You don't need to try to act like one or what have you. You're just there to win your case. So again, here are the tips. Be prepared for your date. Don't forget 3 or 5 days. Check your emotions. Preserve your objections for appeal, because everything's about the next phase of your case. And don't forget, you're a pro se litigant, not a lawyer. And by the way, good luck with you and what you may be facing when it comes time for you to go to court. I think that's pretty much it. That being said, what we're going to do now is go over a couple of the things that I've done in court, for those who may not know, let's do it this way. And hopefully this thing will help us out. I'll try to open up as many of these as I can. But what you're going to do is you're going to get a chance to see my dockets. And it's all the same. Let me go ahead and do this for everybody. Now, let's just say, for example, as we start this 66525 here is the same as this case here. It's the docket. So we'll look at that in the docket, and we'll open them both. And again, anybody could do this. I just kind of helped you out by doing it for you. But here you go. Here's a docket. Make this a little bit larger. So here's a docket. My government name, all that's there. Hey, it doesn't matter anyway. It's all public record. This here is for driver without license. Oh, this is for the Conrad case. See, the judge will be there. And you look at these dockets and you'll see any and everything. So anybody who's done something should be able to show it to you. And I'm going to say this also. There was a time when I was getting my doors blown going into court, whether I had an attorney or not. But once I started kind of understanding how to maneuver in the courts, I was able to get pretty good results. And you see this, the docket just reflects anything that's been filed in the docket. And I think I did this. Let's go back this way. Yeah. Prostitute. Here you go. Here's the end result. On 6/30. Case was no pros, which means they dropped the case. That's the end result. You can always see what happened. And you can actually find out how many entries were in there. Probably not this way, but just count the dates generally are the entries. When you go to the regular sheet, you'll see the number of in Hover. It'll show you how many entries has been in the case. And again, with this one here, I don't know why this thing is not allowing me to. Okay, there we go. Same case, but there you go. No sentence.